Yo.
What up? What up?
Woo. What's up, man? What's going on?
Let's go, man.
Let's go, man.
Episode 159. Welcome back, everybody, to the Copper Footman Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit him with a drink of the day.
Oh, we got a little in honor of a U.S. Open week. We got a little cocktail that is a U.S. Open staple. It's the signature cocktail at the U.S. Open. For those that don't know, the U.S. Open is like the big tennis tournament in New York every year. So this is called the Honey Deuce, is what they call the U.S. Open.
Okay.
I'm calling it the almost Honey Deuce. Or not, what'd you say before? The Grape Deuce. Because I got lazy on the garnish. It's supposed to be a honeydew melon cut into balls like tennis balls, the green, and that's what you use. But I didn't want to do all that, so I just got green grapes. That's what I had to use.
They both greenish,
but they both greenish and they look like tennis balls ish. So I did that. But super simple. It tastes great, man. It's better than I thought. It's literally a shot of Grey Goose. So you got to use a Grey Goose vodka for it to be like the Honey Deuce. You fill up the glass up with ice, the shot of the Grey Goose, fill it up with lemonade, and then do a half a shot of raspberry liqueur. We did the Baron de Castarac. Chambord was the one that they used, I think, at the actual U.S. Open.
Yep.
And then you garnish with the 3 balls of honeydew or grapes, in our case, that make it look like a tennis ball. You'll see the picture. You can't see in the video now.
Yeah, that's pretty much diabetes in a cup.
It really is. But it tastes...
It's good, though.
I didn't... lemonade and vodka is so common. Like, it's such a basic drink. But, I didn't realize how much this changes it, even though it's not a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It makes
Adding
a big
the raspberry?
difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it tastes great, man. I actually really like it. But evidently, this is like a staple. It's really big every year. It's like what people drink there. Like, people were sitting there stacking the empty cups of it like they do at the MLB games with the beers. Dope. And last year, they made something like $8.9 million on that cocktail alone in the 2 weeks of the U.S. Open. That's how popular it is during so it's like if you go there, you have to have it. So I'm like, oh, we got to do it. U.S. Open week. By the time people hear this, we'll probably be heading into the finals this weekend. So by the time you hear this, it'll probably be the finals of the U.S. Open. But yeah, I thought it was like, okay, it'll be cool to sort of pay homage to the tournament.
Man. And when you were telling me we were going to do this drink, you got me fired up, bro.
What happened, man? Who pushed you?
I am a Spectrum customer.
Ooh, I know where this is going.
And Spectrum and Disney are in a feud right now. I do not have my ESPN at home. I can't watch the tennis matches, but there've been some awesome games. Coco is killing it.
Yeah, she wilding out.
And then the other kid, the young Carlos, American.
Oh no, wait, not him. It's I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? I can't remember his name.
He's like upsetting people. He's like unranked.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
So he just beat is it Tiafoe? I want to say his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, there's so many good games going on right now, and then with the NFL coming up, I'm gonna miss Monday Night Football is on ESPN, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to miss that.
Damn.
I have to go to the fucking bar to go watch that. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Dude, but wait, that means you don't have any of it. You don't have ABC.
So ABC is still there.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So I don't know how. I don't know. Maybe because it's a local channel.
Oh, probably as long as you don't pick it. Yeah.
So the local channels are
ESPN
still
1,
there.
2, Disney Channel, all that going.
Correct.
Right.
Which I didn't have. I have limited. I cut all that shit down anyway because I had 200 channels and I think I watched 4.
Watch the same 4. Yep. Same.
Yeah. But ESPN 2 was definitely on there. I want to say another channel that I watched for reruns was Freeform. They took that shit away. They took away FX. I watched that sometimes for some movies. Dude, gone. But my ESPN, I go now? Couldn't this shit happen in after NBA finals but before NFL season starts? They could have did this shit the whole summer.
And they're disputing, obviously it's a contract
money.
dispute about what the split is. Yeah. So cable companies pay each network a percentage of the subscriptions or an amount to have
whatever it is,
but the contract's expired or gone. I think it's been expired. They just haven't been able to come up with a deal. I think ESPN deliberately or Disney pulled it now.
Because of football.
Yeah. It was definitely a strategic decision by Disney.
Come on, Iger.
Yeah, fuck, man.
So Spectrum has 15 million customers nationwide. It's a lot of people.
Yo, how many people do they lose this week because of that?
Yeah, because I even looked at Sling. Because I have cable plus internet through them. And I'm almost going oh, okay, well, fuck it.
Oh, you pay for regular cable, not the streaming one?
I pay for regular cable and I have internet.
Ah, gotcha.
And then so I was I'll cut the cable, keep the internet, and then just get Sling.
Oh yeah. Oh, YouTube
Like-
TV.
Yep, or get that or whatever, right? Any of the other services that will have it.
Dude, I use DirecTV Stream, so I don't have cable, but I use the DirecTV Stream one, and because I have because they're owned by AT&T, and I have AT&T internet and AT&T cell phone.
Yep.
And then I get a discount on the cell phone for having the streaming and the internet. They give you like a 25% off on your cell phone bill, so which is like a pretty decent
okay.
amount. So, but yeah, so but I have used Sling, good. I thought about changing to YouTube TV, but DirecTV matched the offer with adding the sports package, so I just wound up staying with DirecTV.
I think the Sling what kind of like deters me from them is they do it by like how many TVs you want to stream from.
Oh, they changed it.
Yeah, so
I didn't realize
so
they
it's
changed it.
like
Okay.
for like for one it's one price, and then maybe for like up to 3 it's another price and shit like that. And I
Oh,
think
dude, for less than $100, dude, I want to say for less than 70, you can get DirecTV Stream, and it's unlimited streams in your house, and 3 outside.
okay.
So yeah, so just on the ponder.
All right, man.
I think YouTube TV is the same. It's like $70, and it's all the channels you watch.
I just saw that the Bears and the Packers are playing on Sunday. I thought it was the Monday night game, and I'm like, they're gonna make me leave the house.
It's
to
not
go watch
Sunday
it.
night,
It's
though, is it?
Sunday at 4.
Okay.
So
no, but you probably have to
and
leave
it's
the house
on.
anyway, right?
No, it's on Fox.
Oh,
so it's fine.
Okay, so it's fine.
Yeah. It'll be fine. So I'll wait. I don't know, man. Hopefully they'll. I figure, man, there's enough people that's probably gonna bitch about it, and they're gonna have to come to some kind of agreement.
I would think so, man.
Which will probably mean like an increase in our rates, which is
Most definitely.
normal, or they'll probably hold it off until like January, and
Your
then
renewal,
and then they'll fuck us with it. But whatever, man.
That sucks. What timing, bro?
Yeah, come on, Iger.
Yeah, they're gonna force you to buy Sunday ticket, man, and then you're gonna have to. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Sunday ticket, you won't get local games.
Oh, that's
I
right.
guess for us it doesn't matter. Like I don't give a shit about watching the local teams unless they're playing my team.
Yeah, but they're good. They have good teams, right? Nah, fuck it.
Yeah, but I don't care about watching the Jags and the Bucks.
All I'm saying, Spectrum, Disney, get your shit together. That's all I'm saying. Get your shit together. Got me fucked up over.
Got you. Get your shit.
Got me out of character.
I like how they be just snitching on motherfuckers too. The screen.
Oh
just
my
says, "Hit
God,
up
bro.
Spectrum."
Yep.
Yeah.
Hit up Spectrum. Spectrum has another link where you go to kind of like complain to the other side, because both sides, of course, are like blaming each other.
Oh, of course.
So-
It's like when the only like what it reminds me of is like when your prescription providers fighting with like Walgreens or CVS,
Oh,
and they'd be
my
like,
God.
you can't use Walgreens right now.
Dude, it's like going through a fucking divorce or something, man. Right? Depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
You know, you talk to one, the other one's a dick, and vice versa.
Like,
So,
you know, the other way, he'll be an asshole.
Yep. Be like, yeah, you right. He is an asshole sometimes.
You right. Oh, man.
All right, man. Let me hit you with my carbon footprint.
Oh, do it. What you
My
got?
carbon footprint of the week is going out to the University of California in San Francisco. And they have a project there called the Kidney Project. And it's actually to help people that have kidney failure.
Oh.
So, which is huge, right? A lot of people that take medication and have to go through what do you call the
Dialysis
dialysis,
stuff.
right? And there's like, I want to say there's like 500,000 people in the U.S. That require dialysis several times a week.
Oof.
Only about 20,000 people receive a transplant every year. So it's crazy, man. The kidney failure is fucking nuts, and I don't want to even go into what causes that, and because I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say what is even. How does that
I'm
even
not
happen,
sure what
bro?
I'm not sure what causes that, bro. I don't know. Fucking don't drink enough water, drink too much liquor. I don't know. Maybe
And
all of the
both of them
above.
fail, bro. Damn.
And then you have people
Which
that
is
right
wild
that both
that
of them
both of
fail.
them
Right,
fail.
you got two. Can't get by with two. So what they have done is they had this thing called the Kidney Project, and they've produced an implantable device that mimics the organ's daily functions.
Oh,
Bro, it's like a
so
like
they're
a like a
doing it.
fucking
A
pacemaker
artificial
almost,
kidney.
like an artificial kidney, bro. They put it in, and so it has not been tested on humans yet, but they have done it on pigs, which I don't know why. I wish I need to do research on why. Like
I think
we
the
use
anatomy is the closest
pigs,
to ours,
but they
yeah.
also use like rats for stuff,
Yeah.
right? And so I don't know. I'm not really quite sure why. I'm assuming it's because it's close to ours.
I'll be honest. I think they would prefer pigs on almost all of it. I think rats is like we almost I think it's a whole animal
society where
thing.
we don't care about
we
rats.
don't give a fuck about rats, so we're okay with it.
Yeah. It'd be like injecting pigeons.
But you're right. I think there is something distinct about specific organs on each, because I remember them using pig organs at some point in time. Where like, there's been experiments where they actually use them on humans. They use pig organs on humans. Right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And then I think Elon's Neuralink, he's testing
That's right.
it on
Testing
pigs.
on pigs. Yep.
As
yeah,
well.
you're right.
So anyway, so this device, man, and another thing that's cool about it is that I didn't know this, when people get transplants, a lot of them have to take these immunosuppressant drugs because the body tries to reject it. Oh. Because it knows it's not theirs, right? So they had to take this, but the materials that they used, the body's not going to try to reject it. So it also eliminates the need
so
for
they're
those
like
drugs.
So they're going like, well, need for the drugs, but also the chances that it will reject it. Period. Because I think sometimes even with the drugs, your body rejects it.
Probably.
So like, oh shit, man. So they're like addressing. Okay, you need a kidney. Oh, what's the number one problem with kidney transplants? You know, like shit that goes away. Oh, body reject. Oh, wow, man, dude, this is huge.
This is huge, bro. They tested it in pigs for only 7 days. Next, they're gonna do it for like a month. And then after that, there's going to be human trials. So, yo, if y'all out there, if you know anybody, like I know this kind of hits home for me, man. I know someone who needed and received a kidney transplant. And I also know of someone who gave up the kidney.
Oh, wow. Same person or?
Yes. So
you know the person that gave them the kidney
correct.
as well. Okay.
And so, you know, like, there's all of that stuff where it's like, especially when it's family, you do it, but then there's also that thing where you go like, well, fuck, now I only got one.
Yeah, what happens if you?
Right. And so this thing, man, I'm like keeping my fingers crossed and prayers and all that stuff, man. That this is a true breakthrough in the medical field. Wow. So shout out to the University of California in San Francisco, the Kidney Project. There's a YouTube video out there if y'all interested, like 2-3 minutes to see like how this shit works. Really excited for this one, man. Shout out to that university,
wow,
hope it works,
dude. This
bro.
is, I mean, again, we talk about impactful. Like, it's funny because I've always felt like we would get to the point where you can create fake or artificial organs.
Yep.
For human beings, and this is sort of, I mean, this is not sort of, this is that, right? Whether it mimics it or completely replaces it or whatever it is. Like you said, like a pacemaker type device, like it's still functioning like an organ.
Right.
I feel like there will be a time and place where you can almost replace everything in the human's body.
Oh yeah,
which is why
if we don't know fucking kill each other before that,
dude, right, exactly. Like unless you die from like some trauma, some blunt force trauma, like we'll eventually get to the point where people are living to like 150 years old or whatever. Like it'll be norm because you're gonna be able to because I think what you combat then is cell death, right?
Death, yeah.
Like so, which you can't, right? Well, at least there's a lot of studies right now that are promising about sort of reversing or slowing down or regenerating cells that die. Yep. Like you can't stop that. Like eventually all your cells go, but as far as like organs and all that stuff, like, fuck, man. Dude, everybody dies from the same cause, right? So like lack of oxygen to your brain is essentially the cause of, like, no matter if you die in a car accident, you get shot, you have a heart attack, you think it's always lack of oxygen. So you go that once you start addressing some of this stuff, man, and then you get to the point where you can sort of figure out, again, the regeneration of cells or slowing that down or feeding it constant oxygen to where you're always producing new cells. Like, fuck, man, who knows how long, humans can live. And I always hear these like conspiracy theories where they don't want people to live long, but I don't know, man. I feel like I can make the exact same arguments for the opposite. It's like if people like they want to talk about government or like resource and all that stuff, I go, I guess you could make an argument that if you're the government and people live longer, they work longer, they provide, they're in the economy longer, right. Giant corporations that do all the shit have more employees, there's more tax dollars, like there's all this shit where I'm like, all right, if you want to go the conspiracy theorist route, I'm like, I can make arguments for why you want people to live longer and stay in the workforce. And I don't know.
Yeah. But definitely, whether you live longer or not, man, like to a lot of these kind of diseases or these, like a kidney failure will end your life very prematurely.
Yeah, man.
And so, man, this is exciting.
Dude,
man.
huge,
I hope
man.
this shit.
Like you said, whether it's from a
works.
disease or someone gets into an accident, like just being able to replace a kidney, man, is huge. And it's like it's common, man. 500,000 people on dialysis, and man, I used to live next to a dialysis place, and
Oh, really?
you'd be in a parking lot, man, and
Shit was always full.
well, but the people going in and out of them never looked great. You know what I mean? Like it was like, oh, it looks like they're holding on. You know what I mean? Like it was just
okay.
like a very depressing thing to see.
Yeah, like I said, most people don't get the transplant.
Oh, man, and without the dialysis, they die.
Yeah.
So it's like, and some of them are doing it every single day, which I didn't
What's
realize.
it said several times a week, bro.
Oh man, that's insane, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's-
Wow, what a
that-
breakthrough,
that's nuts, man.
That's awesome, man. Shout out to so University of California
In San Francisco.
in San Fran, man.
Yep.
Wow,
The kidney project.
fucking A, man. Shout out to those guys, man. That's awesome.
All right, what you got?
Dude, I and mine is sort of sports related, but even if you're not a sports fan, stick with us because we're gonna go in on some. But it starts with sports, but it's really so much more, man. You can look at education and business and parenting and whatever that goes around this. It's not about the X's and O's. So to me, I gave it to the University of Colorado. I watched that Colorado game on Saturday. First of all, for those that don't know, Deion Sanders, who I think we gave the Carmen Football to a few months back, left Jackson State and HBCU, went to be the head coach at Colorado.
Right. We did give him. That's
So
right.
We gave him that, and he is, again, that was full of its own controversy, but went to Colorado, first year as a head coach at Colorado. 53 kids joined his team out of the transfer portal. So you're talking an entirely new team. He had to build a couple months ago and then get them ready for a college football season in the Pac-12, which is a very competitive, it's Power 5 conference. And first off, the team looked great. But that's not even why I'm giving them this. It was like, yes, the team looked good. They looked fun. I was texting you going like, yo, these guys are fun to watch on offense and defense. Just so fun to watch. His son looks like an NFL quarterback. He's got this kid Hunter who plays offense and defense. Travis Hunter who played.
Dude, he played over 120 snaps.
Yeah,
bro.
On both sides of the ball, which you don't. I mean, Deion Sanders is the last guy you heard just playing at that level, just at a high level on both sides of the ball.
I want to say, man, like I remember Deion in college at Florida State. I don't remember him playing wide receiver. I could be wrong.
He did. Well, he definitely did in the NFL. I remember him in the NFL.
He was a kick returner, punt returner, and then fucking defensive back extraordinaire, right?
Yep.
Like he was amazing.
I mean, arguably greatest defensive player of all time. One of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely in the secondary is bar none.
Probably the best corner of all time. But yeah. But in the conversation for greatest defensive players, top 5 at least all time. Like you go, as far and its secondary might be number 1. Like it's just. But dude, so anyway, I think what I saw here was, man, like Colorado. Shout out to them. Colorado took a chance on Deion Sanders. They gave him a $29 million contract. They didn't have the money to pay him, and they said we'll figure it out. And he took a chance on going there knowing I might not get paid. The reason for this, so again, for you non-sports fans, so Colorado has been a terrible program for the last 20 years. Obviously, the boosters and the former alumni stopped donating money. A lot of these college sports teams lose money. I know it looks big and you see them on TV and all that stuff, but unless you're like a Duke in basketball, like that makes money. Most college programs lose money, right? Alabama football makes money.
Yeah.
Most of them lose. And so they rely on a lot of alumni, they rely on a lot of donations and that sort of thing. So all that is stagnant. The minute they signed Deion Sanders, the donations add up to the amount of his salary, of his contract, the $29 million they get in donations from people. So so people donate. The season tickets sell out. The first game of the season is on national TV. The game this week is on national TV. So you talk about the economics, the money that goes to the school is then able to provide, yes, better football facilities, but better facilities overall. Because if you look at any, sports school, all of their facilities are great. Dude, if you go to campus here at UCF,
it's great, bro.
UCF is a beautiful campus, and a lot of that has to do with the sports program bringing in. They've had some great years, and it's brought in obviously some more donations and attention and all that. So which means kids get better education, better facility, better experience in college. And then I went from a recruiting standpoint, dude, who's having more fun than that team right now? If you're an 18-year-old kid, 17-year-old kid, and you're watching that on Saturday, you're going, yo, these kids are on the sideline. They're having a ball. Deion Sanders is walking around talking shit and swagger. He's giving, instead of captains, he's giving kids L's and D's on their jersey that stands for leaders and dogs. And you're just like, dude, it reminded me of the Oregon Ducks with the cool jerseys a few years back, where you just went, yo, if you're a 17-year-old kid and you're like, oh, wait, every week I get to wear a new jersey and I get new kicks and I get new this and that. Like, you forget that at the end of the day, you're trying to talk a 17-year-old into coming to play for you. And I'm like, yo, if you're watching this team, you're like, yo, this team looks like they're having the most fun in the country from any, like, you go, dude, if you're a top cornerback, safety, offensive line, whatever, you're a kid and you look at that and you look at Nick Saban, and listen, Nick Saban sells himself because of the pedigree and obviously the history comes with it, but you're going, where does it look fun? Colorado looks like a really fun place to be right now.
Yeah.
So then it puts the school on a map, but then, dude, the kid, the running back who had a breakout game, scored 4 touchdowns. I think it's Edwards. He uncommitted from Notre Dame to go to Colorado. And you would go, Notre Dame? Kid, that's a great education.
Yeah.
And he went to Colorado, and it's probably going to pay off.
And you would say, I mean, Notre Dame is almost like Ivy League.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You would,
yes.
As far as education is concerned?
As far as education is concerned, yeah. Notre Dame is, which again, this is why their sports teams are, I don't want to say they struggle, but it is impressive.
No, but they're not always great.
No, they require good grades.
Yeah.
Right? They're not like a lot of the other schools where you say in the South or the SEC where the grades are almost sort of secondary. They say they're student athletes. We know the truth, right? Dude, so I'm looking at that. I'm looking at what Deion Sanders has done with his son, and I'm seeing their interactions on the sideline, and I'm like, and I love. He was talking about how when he walks a certain direction with his son, and it's like away from the middle of the field, that's dad talking to you. When we're walking back towards the 50-yard line, that's coach, and it's like a different. So it allows them to have this cool, separation of like, yo, I can celebrate your sort of accomplishment right now of like, man, this is cool. Like, and you get to geek out with your son, and then you're walking back and you get to be the disciplinarian and go like, right. And his son has bought into it. And you go, man, if your son buys into that and you can sell him on that sort of discipline, like the rest of the kids have no choice but to follow. And he has both of his sons on that team. It was just so cool to see. And I'm like, man, what a risk that AD took. And I think it's going to pay out. Listen, they may not win another game. Maybe they win half of their games the rest of the season. I don't know what it's going to look like. I certainly hope they're in contention for the playoff because it's going to be so fun.
They're going to be fun to watch.
To watch this team. At a minimum, the shit talking that Deion Sanders is going to do if his team sucks.
Oh,
they're
dude,
good.
so
Oh my God.
Did you see his? Well, to go back to your point about his son and walking, kind of geeking out with him and a disciplinarian. They show something with him and Travis Hunter. So Travis Hunter is like the wide receiver / defensive back on the team, and they every game like have this really like long embrace where he kind of coaches them up and they tell each other that they love each other and stuff like that. Like I guess he's been playing with Deion since he was a kid.
Yeah, and then he played for him at Jackson State.
Right.
Yeah,
and then he brought him on. So, but I saw the him address the naysayers. In the after game press conference, and he was like, he called somebody out. He was like, "Do you believe now?" I read all that shit that you wrote in the paper, and Deion doesn't curse. He's a man of God, right?
Yeah,
so he tries to keep it.
He tries to take.
He tries to take the high road.
I don't want to say high road.
No, it's not really a high road. It's not, man, because he talks his shit.
He talks his shit.
Absolutely, he just doesn't curse.
Right.
But he basically called him out and was like, "Yeah, I read all that bull jive that you were talking in the papers. Like, you believe now?" And then he was like, "You don't believe. I see it. You don't believe. Next question."
Yep, and he wouldn't even answer him, dude. And again, I love that because I love the authenticity in that. I love, dude. You talk about Travis Hunter. I love if you're a kid and you want a chance at playing both ways. You're like, well, Deion lets me play both ways. Like, why wouldn't I try to go there? If you're a parent. You and I both have a son. If you're looking at that team right now, you're going, man, it looks like a lot of fun. Colorado's a good school. You go, shit, man, like, and it comes down to you having to pick between them and, I don't want to pick on a college, but, any other university, you go, that's a tough out, man. That's like a, again, Alabama, Nick Saban, power, just the history and everything that comes with that. You're like, that's cool. But if you have a certain type of son that man, he's not going to perform
respond to better to that.
Exactly, to the fun.
Right. It's not just the fun, man. I think Deion, because the guy's had a charmed football life.
Oh my God, dude! We don't talk about a all-time movie. sports movie.
Yeah, they're gonna have to make that at some point, right? Which they already have. He has a 30 for 30 already. But if you have a kid that's from a certain, for certain demographic, right? And then knowing what Dion has done in his life, and then now is at the coaching level, and the guy, not for nothing, man, for all this flash and everything, he's got a pretty clean record, man.
Yeah.
And the guy seems like a good leader.
Yeah.
He seems like a good father figure.
Dude, he demands
the best from his players,
and excellence,
man.
And like you go, like it's like fun, but also you're not coming here to bullshit. Like
right.
And I love, and then got a lot of shit for that speech he gave that team when he took over. Like, yo, pack your shit, because that garbage you've been getting away with, like, ain't gonna work here. I'm bringing my luggage with me.
He got rid of
the whole.
I was gonna say, right? It's like
team,
a lot of the vast majority of the teams.
Most of the team is gone, dude. 53 players on the active roster. He came from the transfer portal.
Wow.
2 were top 10. It was a kid from Notre Dame, and I forget who the other one is, who were like highly recruited. So this is the other scary part, is he doesn't even have a recruiting class that's his, other than the kids he brought from Jackson State. He doesn't have any top, top 5, top 10 recruiting classes in the country. He's gonna start beating out schools, especially with this whole transfer portal year to year, where now you don't have to wait for the full cycle of the 3 or 4 years. He can get players next year that are on rosters now.
Yeah. Dude, the transfer portal is like an unlimited salary cap.
Yes, it is. In college now. Kids can go wherever they want. For those who don't know, like before, if you left, if you would play for a sports team and you decided to transfer schools, you had to sit out 1 year. There was all these rules, and it was controversial, obviously, because as a coach, you could leave and coach tomorrow.
Fucking NCAA,
but a kid,
bro.
there was all these crazy rules, which is going to take us into another story we want to talk about with the finances in this. But like, this now is like, he can go even poach kids from other schools and they can play the very next season. So you even get that where you go, I can take a kid from Notre Dame again next year. I can take a kid from USC, from Alabama, from Florida, from wherever. Like, he can poach those kids. And if you're I'm watching the Gators, who were horrible last week, but if you got top talent and you're watching this Colorado team play, and Deion Sanders hits you up during the offseason, which he's notorious, he doesn't go and recruit either. He sort of does, he believes in the social media thing. He's not walking the sidelines at high school games. Like, he's like, I'm not flying to North Dakota to go watch you play, which is like a very common thing in college athletics, right?
Yeah.
They send like a recruiter or whatever, a scout to go. No, Deion Sanders is like on Instagram and on TikTok going like, come to Colorado, talking shit. And I guess he'll hit you up and it's either like, yo, you want to be part of this? Yes or no? Like, this is, and dude, the team, the results speak for themselves. And I love what he said. He's like, I can't guarantee you guys wins, but I promise you effort. And I'm like, and that's exactly what you got. You got a team whose effort was just, it was so fun. They were so into the game. They were so disciplined. Dude, 1 penalty the whole game.
That's crazy.
For a team that he just put together. So I'm like, you're instilling discipline in these kids. You're instilling, the obviously the excellence in the game. It's just so much, man. I just left that impressed, and I want to watch every Colorado game now.
Yeah. And so his son threw for like 510 yards.
Yeah, Colorado record.
Right. And then in his first game.
In his first game at a major Power 5 conference, because he came from an HBCU, which is like quote unquote lower level college football.
Yep. Where he's at?
Yep.
And then the other guy, Travis Hunter, plays over 120 snaps, 11 passes caught for 119 yards, plus an interception.
And he made a spectacular interception.
Yeah,
in the end zone.
It's nuts, bro.
Man, what a fun team! What a gamble!
Dude, the athletic directors from other schools have to be going, fuck.
Yeah, dude, he's gonna change the landscape of recruiting, of college sports in there, of everything, man. Because I love the way he preaches to these kids about effort. He preaches to them, like, yes, this is sports, but yes, this is education. Like you said, he's a God-fearing man, so he sort of tries to instill some of those values in those kids. Like, it's just, again, as a parent with a son, and you have someone at that level, and you're deciding, I'm like, man, you're watching that, and it's hard not to go. And this is just the beginning. You're going to get major sponsors now at that school. You're going to get more TV time. You're going to get all this stuff that's going to follow this. Because like you said.
And they're on the major networks, bro.
They're on all the major networks. And like, going back to what we were saying before, because I don't think we should gloss over that, is he has a clean, for as much shit as Deion Sanders talks, and he's Mr. Prime, and he's flashy, and he had the jewelry and all this stuff, he's a clean cut guy.
Right.
And so it's an easy sell to a parent to go, yo, he does all this stuff which the kids love, but he's also a decent human being.
Good guy,
he's a
right.
good human being. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And I think that's huge, man.
Dude, one of the things that they did on their the Colorado football team, they allowed the kids to put their social media handles on their practice jerseys. So if they get if the practice get filmed or whatever, or gets on the news, like their social media hands out there, and this kind of goes to the whole like these guys being able to make money, while they're in college,
dude. Which up until a few years ago you couldn't do, right? It was illegal. You would get kicked off of teams. What we saw Reggie Bush get an entire Heisman rescinded because of essentially making money off his likeness.
They have to give it back to him, bro.
I absolutely
at some
should.
point, but maybe they won't, bro. Who knows,
dude? And so I'm glad you mentioned that. So now you're seeing these kids are able to make money off their likeness, and there was a story that stuck out this week. So obviously this is good for Colorado, but sports across the general. Arch Manning, who is the backup quarterback at Texas right now.
Yep.
I think he's even a third stringer. There's a battle there for number 2. He's not even the solidified backup yet. No, because he's a true freshman and whatever. I feel like he'll work his way into maybe even starting before the season's up, depending on how it goes. Dude, he is slated to make more than Joe Burrow this season.
Get the fuck out of here.
As a non-starting college quarterback. Obviously the name helps.
Well, I mean, it's freaking...
Dude, Joe Burrow, and I have to get the number. Joe Burrow makes under $1 million a year. Arch Manning is going to make over $1 million a year. He's going to be...
How is that right?
A couple $1 million.
But wasn't Joe Burrow first round?
I think a lot of his money is tied up in bonus. Remember, the NFL doesn't do those massive first-round contracts anymore. Remember, in the last collective bargaining agreement, they did away. Dude, it's like... I'll show you right now.
We gotta look that up.
Give you a number. Yeah, look it up. It's Joe Burrow's salary this year. I think a lot of it was paid in incentives, like bonuses. It's still way around the salary cap.
Okay.
So like you front load it with bonuses.
Right.
Doesn't count. But like Joe Burrow's salary, watch salary 2023. So base salary of $1 million even.
Wow.
So in 2023, and Arch Manning nil deals is gonna be because he signed some long-term deals.
Man, $1,010,000
for Joe Burrow, right?
Yeah. So he's got base salary. He's got a signing bonus of almost $6 million. He's got a roster bonus of $4.5 million.
Arch Manning is predicted to make $3.8 million based on nil deals and he hasn't signed all of those deals yet, but that's the market right now for him would command that.
I'm thinking about guys like a Johnny Manziel.
Oh my God, bro!
That guy, did he come out as a junior or did he play the 4 years?
I think he came out as a junior because he was such a celebrity by
that's
then,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That guy, you figure you're gonna have players that are gonna go, no, I'm gonna ride this out. I think this is actually good for college football,
this
right?
This is great because people are going to stick around.
Right.
Dude, you're seeing it with the girls, which I'm really happy. Like, you're seeing gymnast, Livy Dunn, highest paid college athlete, I think, in the country right now. I think she makes over $5 million a year. She's a gymnast.
Highest paid college athlete?
Yes, bro. I think it's Olivia Dunn from LSU. Then I think...
And she's a gymnast?
She's a gymnast. And then I think
she's hot, I'm assuming.
Of course.
That's what it is,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, no, of course. She's a good-looking girl.
What is she making money on?
She's endorsement deals, bro. It's clothing. It's like it's athletic apparel. It's sports drinks. It's all that. It's cars. It's everything. And then you get Reese, Angel Reese.
Oh, yes.
Is one of the top
LSU,
I think, 5.
Right?
Yep. Also in LSU.
Yep.
Female. Which I'm like, some of these girls, which it sucks for the WNBA, but they're going, why would I go to the WNBA? I'm making more money in college on endorsements. So I can go get my 4-year
WNBA
degree.
got women going over to Russia and getting arrested.
Exactly.
Just to make money.
Just to make money. It's crazy, dude. And now, to your point, dude, I think if you're in college basketball, which suffers a lot because these kids don't stick around, and even college football, these kids have an incentive to stay now because you're not, for a lot of these kids in college football, they're like their family's way out. Right. And so they have no choice but to leave junior year or whenever it is because for them, they're financially, their family's sort of counting on them. But if you're making $1 million a year, you're fine, and you can go get your degree, and so the college product gets better, and then these kids' lives are better.
Yeah, and not for nothing, man. I think NFL players, like unlike NBA, they're better after 4 years.
Yes,
because you're a man.
Well, you're physically more developed.
Yeah. You're
absolutely.
a man when you come out of there physically. And you know, being that football is such a physical game, I think that helps them. Man, who was the kid from Ohio State years ago? He was a freshman, and he went against the NCAA, took him to court because he wanted to be able to declare for the draft, and he couldn't.
Was it Terrell Pryor?
No, he was a running back.
Oh,
and he ended up getting in trouble. Like, I don't know, his life kind of got jacked. Yeah, his life kind of fell apart.
Yep,
but
I know what you're
because
talking about.
He basically like stopped playing football to kind of pursue this lawsuit that he ended up losing. It was like 2 guys.
Yes,
but he was like,
damn, I can see him.
It starts with a C because I feel like it's like Claret.
Maurice Claret. That's what it is. Yep. Well, isn't he the guy who shot somebody or wound up like?
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure his life did not go well after that. I don't know what he's doing today, but
it's the first search that came up as soon as I started typing him. So the shit's always listening. He played for the Omaha Nighthawks of the UFL.
UFL.
Dude, he's 39 now.
Wow.
That feels like it was not that long ago.
Yeah, no, but it was, bro.
But he got drafted by Denver. He did play with Denver at one point in time.
Oh, wow.
But yeah. But he was in prison. He did some time. So yeah. I remember that, man. You're right. Damn.
Yeah, so that was around back then, you know, for these guys, and obviously, you know, you got guys like that who you know, kind of paved the way for you know, paved the way for the fight.
Yes. Yeah. And to your point earlier, Reggie Bush should get his Heisman back. That whole thing was bullshit. And then I'm so glad that these kids can make money off their likeness now because everyone else is. It was dumb to me that you weren't allowed to. And you're seeing this just change the landscape. Also, I think people stay. Like, what you don't want is you want an Angel Reese to go to LSU and not feel like she needs to go to Connecticut, and then you stack a Connecticut team because maybe as a women's basketball player that was sort of the only way. Not even that you can make money, but just if you want to win championships,
you want to go to like a premier program.
Yes, exactly. So now you go, okay, I can go to an LSU. Maybe that's where she's always wanted to be. Maybe it's her home state. I really don't know her story, but it's like, but also I can make money there. I can do. I don't have to go to a UConn to be seen, to, you know, and all that. And then because of that, I think it allows you to recruit better too, right? Like if you're another college player and you see Angel Reese and she's getting all this money, you probably want to go play with her because you can sort of feed off of that.
Absolutely.
And so it just creates a bunch of these like things. And I think, you know, it's funny, the guys are going to benefit from it, but for guys athletics, you're going to be able to make a lot of money if you're good in athletics anyway. I feel like this really helps the women. At the college level more than anything, because they're able to monetize. You know, again, you see what Olivia Dunn, you see what Reese, like you see with swimmers, like you're making more money doing that than you ever will as a professional swimmer, probably. So good for them, man.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. So what's this CTE study?
Oh, dude. They've been doing a study over a few years now, and CTE, you know, like the traumatic brain injury. You can't diagnose it until people die because you need to actually study the brain.
Study the brain, yep.
So what they've done is, obviously the study's been ongoing for a long time, but they're finding that 40% of athletes who've died before they were 30 suffered from CTE or showed signs of CTE in their brains.
Oh, wow.
So the sports, and obviously CTE happens when you have, it was primarily football players, but it's due to sort of repetitive head injuries.
Yeah,
which is why football.
You never hear about that from soccer, right? And you get that ball and they're hitting it, they're hitting them with their heads.
Which it is. I've heard people say like, "Yo, it's not talked about enough," but it definitely happens in soccer because soccer is violent. On like not only are you doing headers, but you're bumping, you're running. But I guess because you don't, it doesn't look violent. Maybe it's just not as sought after. But I also think maybe we're missing the soccer guys who end up getting all violent and crazy on people. And like offing themselves or offing somebody else, or like you're seeing that more. And
maybe
more.
maybe it's because soccer has has never been big in the U.S.
Right.
So you don't really hear about it as much.
You also don't have massive athletes, I think, like you do in football and soccer, to where maybe you have these concussions and maybe the amount or the I don't know the I guess the magnitude of the impacts matters. Whereas, like 6'6", 300-pound guys are playing football versus, 5'7" guys are playing soccer who weigh 140 pounds. Like maybe it's that. I don't know. Like
I don't know, man. I've seen that ball like flying and then dudes, full speed with their heads. And I always wonder why we never hear about it more from them. Definitely not as much as football. Football is a different animal.
Yeah. Dude, and to compare that to normal people, they're saying the regular population, 1% show signs of CTE.
Wow.
So, but 40% of athletes under 30 showed signs, all the ones that have been studied so far. And that was based on the examination of 152 brains.
So
that
can
have been
they?
donated.
Oh, so those are all people that died.
Yes. Yeah, you can't. There's
You
no
can't
way.
do it, right? You can't
They
do
haven't
it.
figured out a way to diagnose it without people dying. You
They
know,
will.
So, yeah. We'll get there. Just study Antonio Brown enough. Yo, put that guy on something. Strap something to him.
Just open them up now.
Yeah. Like, nah, you got it, bro. Dude, you ever seen those videos of Antonio Brown like 10 years ago versus now?
I have, and it's a different person.
It's jarring how different he is.
Yeah, it's a different
man.
person. It's sad, bro.
Yeah, it is. It's like, yeah, no, it is. It really is sad to watch. You're like, wow, this is not the same human being.
Yeah.
Like, it's scary.
Fuck, man. Yo, man, did you hear about this? You see, you like Delta, right?
I do, man. I am a fan
Delta
of Delta.
Airlines, man.
I'm a fan.
I think. Well, for those of you who have not seen, Delta Airlines gave a new meaning to shitty flights. For those of you who did not see, Delta Airlines, there was a flight taking off from Atlanta to Barcelona that was forced to turn around, literally because somebody had an explosion on the plane and literally like dumped diarrhea like up and down the fucking the walkway.
Oh, dude. So how is that? Is that you're trying to make it
How
to
does
the
that smell? And
bathroom? I can use my imagination, but like, are you running to the bathroom and then just not making it and just shitting yourself the whole way there? Is that how
It has to be.
Because they were saying it gets all over the plane, and so they had to turn around because they declared it a biohazard.
a biohazard.
Like how?
But you have to be like you have the explosion and it just runs down your leg and it's just fucking.
And you're just dripping it the whole way to the bathroom?
Bro, could you imagine the smell
Oh my god.
on the plane?
Oh man. Oh. It's funny. I've done that flight from Atlanta to Europe. Oh my god. I can't, dude.
How many hours?
It's about 8, depending on where in Europe you're going. But
Could you
it's 8.
imagine if that shit happened like halfway?
I'm saying, what do you do? Like, if you're the plane, like I saw that they landed, but so I'm guessing what they did was they were probably still over land because Atlanta, what they do is they go up the coast along like the east coast of the U.S. and then they cross over. So
okay.
So they never go right across. Very rarely. They
Right.
go. So I'm guessing like somewhere in New York they had to land. Where did they land, or did they go back to Atlanta?
I think they went back to Atlanta. So hopefully
turned
they
the
weren't.
plane
Yeah,
around.
they weren't. Maybe they weren't too far.
Wow,
but holy shit, man! I was just thinking, what if you're in the middle of of the Atlantic?
Yeah, if you're already on that one, yeah, man.
Yeah, do you just take out the fucking Lysol and get the crew scrubbing? Because they basically said like when they landed, they just put the crew to work to clean it up.
Yeah, you have to, but I guess you can't sit there and go scrubby while people are there because like it's flying all over the place. Probably people got to wear biohazard suits. And stuff. Oh my god, man. Yeah, and if you're that person who had the explosive
my God, bro.
diarrhea,
and you're sitting next to him.
oh my god, the whole time I'd have been like, "Don't eat the peanuts." That was that airport water.
Dude, and if you're that person, right? And I assume it's a guy, but I have no clue. I don't know if it's a guy or a woman.
It's a baby. I almost prefer it to be a baby.
Yeah, no, yes, absolutely. But if it's like an adult, how do they feel?
Oh my god, bro. Yeah, are you?
There's no way, bro.
Nah,
Like,
bro,
I
I'm
don't
sitting
know, like-
in the toilet there until they empty the plane out. Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here.
Sir, can you come out? Nope. It's still dripping down my leg.
Yep. Let me know when everybody get off the plane.
Can I use y'all shower? I know y'all got a shower in here.
Bring my bag.
Like the stewardess and stuff, like they gotta have a shower in there. Am I even allowed to call
No,
them
I don't
stewardess
think
anymore?
so.
Is that a thing?
I think flight attendant?
Is it flight attendant now?
It's flight attendant.
My bad, stewardess.
Dude, I'm going. Yeah, you're like, bring my bag because I have change of clothes. Oh, what if your bag's under the plane?
No, yeah, you're. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Bring me a uniform,
Give me your stockings.
dude. And don't they have? I think they have crew showers on some of those long haul flights. I guess it depends on the type of plane.
I wouldn't think on that.
It just depends on the type of airplane, and so because I have seen them. Well, yeah, maybe it's like a
They
Asia
have-
flight would have
I was
it,
gonna
but maybe
say,
not
yeah,
a
they have
Europe
it
flight.
on-
Maybe not a 7 or 8 hour flight, but a 16-hour flight would. Because there's like a first class for like Qatar or like Emirates where there's showers for like first class.
Oh shit, that's
stuff like that. But like, oh my god, man, I can't even begin to.
Yeah, I feel bad for the person because everybody knows who you are.
Oh man,
Somebody got a video of you.
dude, it's wild. I was like, I've never told this story. I when I was a kid. Oh yeah, listen, I can relate to being on the other side of this.
Don't worry, we could bleep. I can skip.
Can
this
you
out.
just delete? I'm gonna tell you right now. Just promise you'll delete the whole thing. This when I was a kid, man.
I'm leaving it on.
I got explosive diarrhea like at my grandmother's house, and just wrecked underwear. Right, and my grandmother had one of those claw tubs. You know, it's like elevated. And I was like, like in New York, so it's like up, and I was in the bathroom, and I was like so embarrassed, and I didn't know what to do. I'm like, fuck, I can't tell her I shit my pants, right? Like,
So you were in the bathroom when this happened?
No, yeah, I had already shit. I went into the bathroom. I think I shit. We were out of the house. I think I was at work with my grandfather. He worked on cars in this like yard nearby.
Okay.
Made it to the house, get to the bathroom. Like, I gotta change this obviously underwear. And I want to go shower and stuff, but the underwear are wrecked, right? Done, and they smelled fucking terrible. I'm sure people smelled me, and I was like, fuck, what do I do with this? I don't want to tell my grandmother I, shit my pants. And in hindsight, I should have just fucking rinsed them in the sink or something.
I was just going to say, I probably would have
common
rinsed them.
sense tells me that. That's not what I did,
And
bro.
then put them back on fucking drenched.
Yes, bro. So many options other than what I did. I took the shitty underwear and I threw it under the tub. And left it there,
They'll
right?
never find this.
They'll never find this. And I thought I won. Bro, like months later, months later, my grandmother comes over to my house. And she brings over she's got like a bag, and in the bag she's got my underwear and they're clean, and she takes them out. She goes like, found something of yours, and she hands me, and I'm like just super embarrassed. And she's like,
And how old were you? Do you remember?
oh man, I'm gonna say 10, maybe 9.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like
It's enough.
yeah, so
It's
too old to
enough
shit
to
my
be
pants,
embarrassed.
but old enough to yeah. So like she's like it shows, she tells me like what like what the fuck? Like, you could have just said something like, why'd you throw your shitty underwear like under the thing? And I'm just embarrassed. And then she's like laughing because she's like, you could have just said something, this and that. And then she goes, let me tell you how we found them. For days, like it
just
stunk
stunk.
so bad in the house that we couldn't figure
it out.
Eventually.
You're like, bro, you took a shit. You're like, yeah, 2 days ago.
And eventually they followed the scent until they found the pair of dirty underwear under the tub. And yeah, man.
But I could totally see that where you go like, man, did you shit again? They come out of the bathroom,
Yeah.
right? You see your grandfather.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I just peed. Oh, you're like, fucking worse yet. I just took a shower.
So they were arguing in the house for like days, like thinking with each other, like
That's
it's
you.
reek.
That's you.
And then, so obviously afterwards, I'm laughing and they're telling the stories about how long and forever my grandmother will remind me about this. But yeah, I took the underwear and I was like, and in hindsight, I'm going, there were so many better options. Why did I? And I just threw it under the tub, thinking like, they'll never find it down here. It won't come up again. And I thought I had gotten away with it. Yeah,
I never had anything like that. I did see as like an adult, young adult, and I may have told you this story before. When I was in boot camp, there was this guy, a really soft spoken dude, and he had to pee, and the drill instructor was talking to us at the time, and he's like, in boot camp, at least when I went, you didn't like raise your hand. You kind of would just go like, sir, recruit. Say, like for me, recruit Verona, request permission to make a head call. Just like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay. So you would call it head call?
A head call.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he's talking, and he tells the guy, wait. So he's like, recruit so and so, request permission to make a head call, and he's like, wait, and he keeps talking, and the guy again, a little while later, a couple minutes later, sir, recruit so and so, request permission, and he didn't even finish it. And he looks at him and he snaps his fingers and he points at him and he goes, I told you fucking wait. The judge that keeps talking. All of a sudden, bro, and we're all like in like standing at attention. From the corner of my eye, I see somebody like jump, and of course everybody's like, looks over. The guy who was asking, as in the position of attention, just starts pissing himself. So it's just coming down his leg.
Like I tried to warn you.
And
it was coming.
And he didn't give a fuck. He stood there, fucking, like, attention, fucking 1,000-yard stare. He didn't give a fuck.
Kudos to that.
And then he goes, and then the judge just goes over to him, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, sir, this recruit told you, this recruit told the drill instructor he had to make a head call. And he's like, go clean yourself up. And then stop on a quarter deck on the way out, which is like an area where they're going to fucking like make you exercise.
Oh, they torture you on that.
They torture you on the fucking quarter deck. Yeah.
That's fucked up. Like I told you, bro.
Yeah, he should have just, but like the right thing to do in that situation, but you don't
Get
know.
up and go?
You just go, and then you just pay for it after.
Oh, because you're going to pay for it either way.
Yeah. Like just like, sir, sorry, I have to go. You know, like that's
Take
it.
off running, bro.
Yeah, just go. Like I gotta go.
Like I gotta go. Yeah. It's either here or thing, but I gotta go. Damn.
And I talked to the guy later on, and I was like, yo, man, like, why didn't you just go? And he goes, I told him that I had to go. He was a real soft-spoken dude. I told him that I had to go. He didn't listen.
Just on principle.
Yeah, he was like, fuck it. So
I respect that level of petty. I respect that, bro. He's like, nah, I told him, fuck it. It's gonna be right here. Dude, hit me with some lemonade, yo.
Let me get some lemonade for you. And while you making your own drink, I'm gonna tell you about this story. This couple, they went out for a dinner, and when they got their bill, the bill had a charge on it that they were like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" They had a good dinner. They said they were with the server.
Fancy restaurant or
I don't know.
chain?
The place is called Westgate Bourbon Bar and Tap House, and it's in Beaverton, Oregon.
Okay.
So there's a charge on there for $15, and you know how it usually has like the description of what you bought. It could be fucking steak or whatever.
Yeah.
This thing says you're an asshole. $15.
Hey, charge him because he was a dick.
So the guy sees this shit, and he's just and he's like thinking about it. He's just like,
You're
fuck,
an
man.
asshole.
Like, did I do anything? Like, and he's kind of like replaying the whole fucking like the whole scenario of the dinner, and he's trying to think like, man, like the waitress was nice. Like, I think we were nice to her. Like, what the fuck is this? Kind of find out, and then I think his wife was the one that kind of called it out. She's like, what drink did you order? He ordered a drink called "You're an Asshole, Mr. Burton," which is apparently is from some fucking movie.
So the drink
It's a quote, but you know on a or maybe you don't. For those of you who don't know, like on a point of sale system, the number of characters that you can put that print on the receipt is limited.
Right, so you only get
only get so many characters.
That's kind of funny though, for your restaurant.
So the
I
way
would
that
cut
they
it off
put
there
it
on purpose.
Yeah, which is probably like what they did, because I
Yeah.
guess they have other drinks that are kind of named funky names like that.
Did he not know that?
That's what I was thinking the same thing. I was just like, man, that didn't ring a bell.
I feel like if you looked at that, you would have been like, "You're an asshole." Like it would have been obvious.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was. Sometimes on a menu, because it's sort of like a curse, they'll like star it out, and who knows.
So did he make a big show about it? And say,
No. This shit was on Reddit.
Gotcha. Yo, Reddit, the some of the Am I an Asshole page and stuff like that. Have you ever gone down that? Dude,
there's so many things.
Am I an asshole on Reddit?
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. Or Am I Wrong is another good one. And it'll be
Yeah, most of
telling
them are
stories,
yes.
And you're like, yeah, bro, you're definitely wrong. Oh my God, man. People are wild, dude. John, yo, you seen Volkswagen, the office chair they made? It's not on for production yet. They're sort of doing it as a I want to say for fun.
Hold on, so the car maker?
The car maker just created an office chair that will zip you around the office at a top speed of 12 miles an hour. So it's an electrified office, like the shit we're in right now.
It's like fucking Power Wheels.
You know how
in the
fun
office?
that shit would be, bro? If this shit was powering you in the office. Just
Dude, 12 miles an hour is kind of fast.
That's fast, bro.
Yeah,
And
bro, that's fast.
the chair. It'd be some Wolf of Wall Street shit. We'd be bowling with humans and stuff like that.
With midgets.
The races about meet me in the hall. First person down the end, a loser buys lunch.
Yo, do you take that shit to meetings?
Yo,
Right?
Yeah,
it
you
fucking
zip your chair.
replaces, right? You put a table in there, but no chairs.
Yeah, and everybody has to
comes
bring
with
your
their
own
chair.
chairs, and you're just sitting there. Bro? That shit's kind of lit,
That's
man.
dope.
I hope they actually come out with that. Like, they're doing it right now, and it was
I'm not really sure why they would do that. Or it is. It's like a kind of a fun
It was
thing.
just for fun. They're not gonna manufacture it like to sell it yet. But I think it was like there was like sort of tinkering around with like what the future office could look like. But
I want to say, so my kid had one of those Power Wheels, and it was like a Corvette or some shit like that.
the Mustang, dog, because you gave them to me. That's right. I know exactly where you go.
So when you used to put it on like high,
yeah,
that was only 5 miles an hour. That shit
was
move
fast, bro.
Could you imagine 12 in a fucking chair?
Dude, I think I had to leave it. Turned down for my kids for the longest time.
Yeah,
that shit was violently fast. Like they would step on a thing and it would be like, boom, their head would snap back.
And I had rigged it. Remember with the rubber tires in the back?
Rubber tire, that shit was gone, bro. Y'all remember people would come over like with kids and they would be like, yo, that shit's fast. I'm like, I think Sean was tinkering with that motherfucker. I don't know.
Dude, I saw it on a YouTube video, some redneck dude. Because what happened is sometimes it would get stuck because I have the acre lot, right? So like they would ride it in the grass a lot. It was fine on the concrete always, but sometimes it would spin in the grass.
Plastic
wheels. And I seen this redneck on a YouTube video that he was like, yep, like go buy these, and he put like the size like kids bike tire, and then you kind of cut out like the ends, and then you wrap it around those plastic tires. It was great.
It was awesome. That shit hauled ass. I remember you gave me one for my kids, man. I was like, holy shit, bro. They played with that thing for years and it hauled ass. And it was funny because we had a normal one, like a Power Wheels Jeep.
Oh,
like a Barbie Jeep one. And then we had that one. It wasn't even close, bro. The other one's like, and then the one you got was like, it's like shit was popping wheelies. I was like, that thing was dumb fast. But I feel like, I saw it. I'm like, yo, that shit would be fun as hell. Can you imagine the fun we had in an office just talking shit? If we had chairs like this, bro. Oh my God, man!
Dude, you get no work done, bro.
No, bro, mayhem. We'd be sitting there with brooms, like having joust fights and shit down the hallways in between cubicles.
I miss the old office.
Yeah. Same, man. What a time. What a time.
Dude, did you see this hot bedding shit?
I heard about it briefly.
All right,
go ahead and walk through.
I read this article where this woman in Australia, she like through the pandemic, and she needed to like kind of make some money, and she had heard about this somewhere, and so the idea is you share for a fee, you share a bed with someone. There's got to be
Airbnb your bed.
Yes, you kind of Airbnb your bed, but you're still sleeping in it.
Yeah, I've heard like some of them is like, it's not even alternate schedules. You're basically like, you could be in bed at the same time.
Yes. That's what I was. So, it's funny. I didn't think about this, but like the term hotbed, the first time I heard it was like the Navy guys, like on a ship. It's like a hot rack. I think it's what it's called. I could be wrong on that. But where guys would on a Navy, like an aircraft carrier, they would work shifts, and so you would almost essentially like use the same bed, but you would like flip the mattress.
Oh, because okay, and you guys had alternate schedules.
So you would sleep at different times.
Yeah.
But this hot bedding, so this chicken, she's making like a few $1,000s like a month, but she essentially rents out the other side of her bed, but they get to sleep with her.
It's kind of wild, bro.
And of course, like she's a good-looking chick, right? So you go, oh, okay. So I guess dudes would probably pay for that. But the whole idea is like it's all platonic, supposedly.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not like you gotta kind of behave yourself, and it's literally just to have almost like companionship.
Oh, we will legalize
in a
prostitution by any means necessary.
I was thinking, I'm like, it won't be long till that's here.
No,
if it's not already.
I feel like the article that I read was saying that it is starting to sneak its way here into like the major cities, the expensive ones, because it's a big thing in China. Evidently, is where it started.
Oh,
obviously,
really?
Because dude, China and you and I both work for like large companies. Even the employees for some of these larger companies, they like if you get into a major city like Shanghai,
Yep.
Beijing, like a lot of the people can't afford to live in those cities. So what they do is that they go like 12, 15 to an apartment, and there'll be like 5 to a bedroom, and there's bunk beds and that sort of thing. So in order to be able to afford a place to live, dude, a lot, man. And then employers, some of the employers pay for the apartment, but they stick like 20 to an apartment kind of thing. Right. And you see this in the Caribbean too, in some of the major cities in the Caribbean, because the employees would live like in the outskirts, but they can't afford to live in like the major city.
Okay.
So in China, because of that, obviously, and because of the population and because of how expensive it is, like I saw that people are starting to do the hot bedding thing too, where you have an opposite schedule, so you rent out your bed for like if overnight or during the day when you're not in it, or to like what you were saying, you're both there at the same time. It's like, here's my half, here's your half, like, fuck, and man. You. Damn, yo, people get creative about fucking making money. That's wild, bro. Because I understood like cars, I understood like Airbnbs or a room in your house and all that stuff. I'm like, yo, your bed. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, that's really crazy, and especially from if it's a woman sharing it with a dude, I don't know, man. I'd have to advise.
You're asking for.
I'd have to advise against that.
Yeah. You're asking for something inevitably that's gonna happen. That.
Yeah. I don't know about that one, bro. Dude, tell me about this. Where is it? This Sound of Freedom funder.
Yo. This guy, bro. So I don't know if you've heard of this movie.
I've not heard of this movie. You got to tell me the whole shit.
So Sound of Freedom is a movie that was released at like I want to get the exact date. So Sound of Freedom just came out not that long ago. So a few months back, Sound of Freedom drops. The movie is about, and I want to read the exact synopsis of Sound of Freedom. So it's about child traffickers. So the movie's about child trafficking. It's made, it released back in July. It's made all these headlines.
Oh, so it's new.
Yes. Yeah. Very new. And it's like one of those like award, like Oscar buzz movies that people are like, oh, it's a must watch. Yep. But I guess it's to bring awareness sort of to child trafficking and that sort of thing, and the violence behind that and all that, which is hilarious considering that the director was recently, or actually, let me make sure. I don't think it's a director. Hold on.
Somebody that funded the movie, maybe?
Yeah. I want to make sure because the director is I want to make sure I don't fuck him over by saying it was him.
It'd be like Michael Bay.
I think it was one of the major funders. Okay, a funder. So Fabian Marta, he is a major funder behind this movie that has been like a movement in the whole child trafficking and kidnapping and yada, yada, yada. He was recently arrested for child kidnapping.
Get the fuck out of here. Not like his own either. Like somebody else.
Yeah. From what I could see, for a child, he was arrested for child kidnapping. So he crowdfunded the anti-child trafficking film, Sound of Freedom, and he was arrested and charged with accessory to child kidnapping according to a Missouri court filing, a Class A felony. Carries a penalty of 10 to 30 years in prison, and it doesn't really go into the details. So I don't know if it was like his own kid or what. But
so does this guy fund the movie? Because I have like two thoughts on this. Does he fund the movie to cover up what he's doing, or does the information from the movie then spark something in him to go do that?
Ooh. Good question.
Does he do it to hide, or does he get an idea afterwards?
Yeah, man.
Dude, sometimes you think something's fucked up, and then you see it or you see how it's done.
Maybe you're exposed to it so much that
and it's just like,
he was inspired by the wrong thing. But it's so like I guess the in the credits of the movie it has his name and family as one of the donors or the funders of the film.
Fuck, man.
But it's funny because the film was such a moment in culture and pop culture. Like people were talking, oh, you must watch this, and it was like almost the anti-big blockbuster, but it was like this is the woke movie to see at the moment, yada yada. And then this comes out that one of the funders for it was arrested. It's like, the irony of something like that, man. It's just.
That's insane, man. And then, man, your life is over.
Yeah, and I wonder, man, like to your point is, sometimes you see something like this and it's like people fighting for custody of a child or something, and one of the parents doesn't bring them back from something like that.
That's what I thought initially when you said it. I was just like, oh, was it his own kid?
It just doesn't say. It says his bail was set for $15,000. He's got another court date coming up soon. The nature of the case, so what it says is the nature of the incident of the criminal case is not clear. So they haven't really given out all the details about why. But, hopefully it isn't anything crazy. I just thought it was like the irony of the guy who funds one of the, this whole woke movie right now is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. How we doing on time?
Dude, we're an hour 4, actually.
All right, man. What you want to end with?
Ooh, let me see. Do I have a end-worthy? I feel like you had one in there that was end-worthy.
I think I went through my stuff already.
See, you got them. You got them all.
Yep.
I got one. You saw this fake plastic surgeon from Germany?
No.
Yo, this 46-year-old guy, no medical credentials. He used silicone injections for a procedure that he advertised as girth enhancing. And
injecting the old shaft.
The old shaft with some girth enhancement. And he had this patient, 32-year-old guy, who suffered for about 7 months and died due to multiple organ failure and sepsis from the operation. But this guy was posing as a fake.
Also, he wasn't even legit.
Nope,
So
he was a fake plastic surgeon injecting some shit in people's dick, promising to make them fatter. And yeah, this dude wound up dying. Dude,
but how many were successful?
Yo, that's the thing. And honestly,
that's
bro,
the fucking thing right there.
Based on his prison term and how much money he made, probably worth it. He got 5 years.
Oh wow.
Has been given a 5-year prison term for causing a fatality during an unauthorized penis enlargement surgery. 5 years, depending on like you said, how many of those are successful.
Bad,
was
bro.
this a one and go? That's not bad, bro. Might be worth a couple mil. German prison, probably pretty easy. I think they've gotten soft on prison since like the 40s.
I was gonna say something about that, bro, and I'm like, ooh, how do I put that in here without getting for real canceled?
They scaled it back a little bit. They were canceled a long time ago.
Permanently.
That was the original cancellation.
They still getting canceled.
So,
people that even talk about that shit get canceled.
Yeah. So bro, that shit, I'm like, damn, that's wild. And then I went, yo, man, as dudes, because the plastic surgery thing is becoming so like popular now, I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know how much this guy was charging, but it's like, as a guy, would you pay money to get your dick fatter? And then I'm like, fuck, man, would I? Like, I don't know that I would.
Like, I wouldn't, but I could see, right? Like, again, like we all have these insecurities.
For sure.
Right? And so if you believe or you've been told, even worse yet, right? Like, like, I don't know.
You got a baby dick.
You got a pencil dick.
Yeah.
You got a baby dick or whatever the, right? Then I can see somebody going, yo, I'm going to go get it taken care of.
I would say if you got the money to get that, for a guy, you just need to have money. Like being rich as a dude is the equivalent of getting boobs. Like you don't even have to be like wealthy.
It's getting boobs, plastic surgery, it's fucking everything.
Yeah, it's all that. Like for a guy, like you could be ugly. You get away being ugly and out of shape if you got some money. Like it's your plastic surgery. Like you don't need to go through the actual plastic surgery. You just got to get a couple bucks, and you're probably gonna be fine. Because I know a lot of ugly dudes with money who do all right. I don't know what the size of their member is, but still.
Doesn't seem to matter.
Doesn't seem to matter. They seem to be doing okay, bro.
Yo, on that, tell them where they can find us.
Oh, yo, shout out to you guys. Thanks for the support on our socials at The Carbon Football Podcast on IG, The Carbon FP Pod on X, The Carbon Football Podcast on Facebook, on YouTube, and all your favorite streaming platforms. Oh, at Carbon Football Podcast on TikTok too, and then all your favorite audio platforms. Oh, yeah. So Amazon Music, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Geo7, TuneIn, Podchaser, Pocket Cast, all of it, man. Go ahead and hit us up. Oddly enough, Apple Podcast is still, or not oddly, Apple Podcast is still our number one. Our number two was Amazon, I think.
Really?
Through Amazon Music, not even Audible.
Oh, that's
We're
dope.
on there as well too. So right now, but yeah, and our number two for countries is still India, and in there we got Germany. Oddly enough. So hope you guys don't cancel us in Germany after this one.
Yo, the what the hell was I just gonna say? Stitcher. So for those like 3 people that use Stitcher, it is officially over.
That's right. It's dead.
It's dead. It's officially dead. You're gonna have to switch to a different listening platform. But we're on a lot.
Yeah, YouTube, everything, man. And thank y'all for engaging on all that, man. We've been seeing the love on the socials lately, whether it's on the drinks, whether it's on the videos. Thank you guys, man. It's always fun to see, man. It's wild. Even getting the text, man, always trips me out. So thank y'all, man.
And as always, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.